What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
And welcome to another episode of Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW podcast, hosted by the greatest tag team in podcast history. Dizzle J, how you doing, man?
Great, how are you?
Good, good. How'd you feel about that new intro? Did you like it?
I like the new intro.
Like it?
I think you gotta change it up every once in a while, you know?
It's something, well, new year, right?
New year, new us.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to go for here. It's kind of like what I'm doing with the other podcast, changing some things up, being that season 3 and everything. Same thing here, just changing little things up, just...
Even the Simpsons change their intro.
Right? You gotta make it fresh, you gotta make it new. Plus, I'm tired, and the excitement is waking me up.
I mean, it is a little earlier than usual. Or
it's very earlier than usual. And that's the thing, too. And we discuss this weekly about how, life and everything, kind of makes getting together kind of difficult.
Right.
You got stuff going on later on in this day that we're recording, so we have to do it earlier. And since I got off work 7.5 hours ago... But here we are.
That thing went to bed 7.5 hours ago.
Yeah. But we are here. We're here to do the podcast. We're here to talk about pro wrestling because that's what we do here at the JFW podcast. We talk about wrestling.
Talk about what we love.
Exactly. And granted, a lot of it lately has been WWE. We can start out with something not so WWE, which is the big match between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom. I think it was Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Wrestle Kingdom 12.
And that was on the 4th of January.
Yep. It would have been 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for us, 9 o'clock at night for them.
Yeah. So, I didn't get to see the match. I haven't had an opportunity yet, but you said you did check it out?
I did check it out.
So, let's first start with, how the match went and, were there any high spots that stuck out and anything like that?
I mean, there was tons of big spots and everything like that, but it was basically a street fight, no holds barred kind of thing. So it wasn't a technical match by any means. It was actually the first time I actually got to see Kenny Omega in action. I probably should have watched him beforehand. But he's got some pretty cool moves. But I guess I was expecting a lot more from the match because the hype was... The hype was real. I mean, it was built, and basically it was a hardcore match for a title.
Yeah, and when you kind of described the match to me earlier about it being a good match but not living up to the hype, it's really surprising because watching Chris Jericho for over a decade and what he did in WCW, what he did in WWE, based on his matches himself, not even the promos he did or anything, or the character that he portrayed, but the wrestling in the ring. It's shocking because I don't know too many non-impact, great Jericho matches, and I've never seen Omega myself either. So, but Jericho being the guy he is, I think he'd be able to carry anyone into a great match. So It's weird to think that it did not live up to the hype that everyone expected to.
I mean, maybe I expected a different type of match. Maybe I expected a more technical match, but again, without knowing Kenny Omega's style, it was something I was just disappointed, really.
Yeah.
It was cool to see, and it was, but I wouldn't have paid the money to see it. I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, see, my thought behind it is, and maybe this is just what it is being that since it is not the PG WWE stuff that we're used to seeing, that we expected a non-PG WWE high-impact match. So maybe that whole mindset is okay, this is gotta be something great.
Right.
Because this isn't WWE, but it is Chris Jericho taking on Kenny Omega. Two guys from two different companies, who built their careers in different places, coming together into something different. And it's for a championship, so it's gotta be something great. And I mean, and there's been a match in WWE where people put a lot of hype into it and it just shit the bed. It happens. And
I'm not saying it was a great hardcore match.
Was there blood?
No, yeah, there was blood.
Was there? Okay.
Kenny Omega got busted right the fuck open. I mean, he took at least 3 or 4 They put the chair into the corner.
Yeah.
Like they normally do. I think he went into that chair at least 4 times while it was in that corner. Jericho busted him in the head a couple times with the chair toward the fact where the seat part came out, and he was just smacking him with the frame, I guess, of the chair. The Young Bucks were there, but they didn't get really involved. But they had Jericho attack the Red Shoes, which I don't know who they are for New Japan. That may have been a ref or some, I don't know, like someone who works for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
They're called the Red Shoes?
That's what they call them. Red Shoes Uno.
Uno was... head referee.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it's a guy.
It's a guy. But they also had this guy's son there who he also attacked.
Well... Yeah, that sounds like Jericho, though.
Yeah, I mean, heel Jericho was a good Jericho.
You saw the intros.
Yes.
Okay. Did they use Judas by Fozzy as the intro?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Then did he do his, vintage?
He did his thing, and he had light-up coat and everything.
Nice.
Kenny Omega's entrance is pretty legit, though.
Well, tell me about his, because, like I said, I don't know anything about Kenny Omega.
His came out, he came dressed up almost, have you ever seen Stargate?
Yeah, not religiously, but I've seen it.
Okay, so you know the bad guys and their headgear?
Yeah.
So he kind of had the headgear that looked like that. He came out with a giant gun that I thought would have shot something out of it.
It didn't.
Not that I saw, but he had pyro that went off. It was pretty legit.
Was it a WrestleMania caliber?
Oh yeah. I think definitely like a WrestleMania entrance. I think it kind of, if you ask me, it kind of took a piece from Triple H's Terminator entrance. Except without having all the robots there.
No robots.
No robots.
Well.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Oh. It's kind of Pharaoh-like.
Yeah.
Okay. It's different.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. I don't know why, but for some reason I like that United States title look better than the day.
You know what? New Japan has pretty simple titles, but they look really good.
Yeah, to me, the WWE one just looks too much like a kid's toy.
Yeah.
Kind of belt, where that one kind of like has. I think it's the gold just wrapped around it. Kind of like it looks like it's more prestigious, kind of looking.
I think the most prestigious looking belt in WWE right now is probably the Intercontinental belt.
Yeah, because it went back to that classic look.
I love that white.
Yeah. I don't know why, for some reason, I always had like a love for the oval shaped from like the Attitude Era. I don't know why. It's just that was my Intercontinental belt. And I wish like when they did do the United States belt, they did like the old WCW United States belt, not the WWE one that you see now, because I don't know, for some reason I don't like the way it looks, because it just looks kiddie. Right? I mean, if there's one thing that WCW did right, is to keep their belts classic looking.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed like the WWE style belts better. Or WCW style belts better. Especially the heavyweight. The heavyweight's my favorite.
Yeah. If you had to pick, what was your worst designed belt? Or what belt you felt had the worst design? Not that it was a bad belt, but the design of it looked like shit.
The Divas belt.
The Divas?
I hated the Divas belt.
That's fine.
The ECW title?
The last evolution of it. I like the original belt. This
is the WWE.
This is the WWE one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so ECW had their original one, which it had it pretty much was like the barbed wire crossing. It just had it basically looked like heavyweight champion was carved in front of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And then when it went over to WWE kind of kept that look for a little bit, but then they wanted to make it their own. They made it look silver, like the Divas belt. But I think the Divas belt had a little pink in there or some shit.
Yeah, it had like a butterfly or something in there.
Yeah, so I mean, if I had to rank the ones, maybe we should do a show on this. It would have to be the ECW one, then the Divas one, the worst title belts.
I think we did something with title belts.
I think we did custom belts, like the Smoking Skull belt, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we did that ranking episode, and I don't know if it went as good as hot dog flavored water to our listeners, but we can always do it again for the hell of it. But
they'll never know.
Right. But ECW, I think the ECW belt is the worst, and then found out it's probably the Divas one, and then the current tag team title belts. I just don't like them. But
I think I like but both sets of tag team belts are almost the same, just different color strap, right?
Oh, between Raw and SmackDown? Yeah, the belt. Yeah, the women's belts, technically the heavyweight belts, and the tag team belts are the exact plates but different colors. Even the Universal belt and the WWE Heavyweight Championship belt are the same belt but just different colors.
I don't like that.
What I find weird is that the Universal title is red for Raw, but the WWE title is still black. It's not blue.
That's fine. It needs to stay black. It shouldn't be blue.
Well, I know, but I think maybe the Universal title shouldn't be red. White, maybe?
Well, then you would take away from the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I hate the white strap Intercontinental title.
You hate it?
I'm not a fan of the white strap. I like the plate. I'm just not a fan of the white strap.
I like the white strap.
Yeah, it's not me.
It's classic.
Yeah, it's not me. It's not. It doesn't rev my engine, It
doesn't rev the engine?
It does not rev my engine, no. No, it does not, sir. But,
well, with the Kenny Omega and Jericho thing, I don't know if this is going to be a one and done, or they're going to do a best out of 3. Of course, the rumor mill is still saying Omega's coming to WWE, but I don't see him coming to WWE.
I think the biggest problem, I think there's a possibility he could, because I think WWE could promise him, a lot of good things for it. But it's kind of like when we talked about, when you asked me about the match of the week, if I ever watched it, I haven't, but I'm going to after you recommend it. We discussed wrestlers down in NXT, and
right.
I feel that a lot of the wrestlers down there, if not a lot of them, all of them, they're in a situation where they're not in that push capability for WWE. I don't see anyone down there who's going to get pushed like Seth Rollins, like Dean Ambrose, like Roman Reigns. I mean, even Samoa Joe's kind of in that lull, being between trying to be pushed and not really being pushed.
Right.
I mean, Braun Strowman's still kind of in that spot. And who knows, maybe they'll change at the Royal Rumble if he becomes victorious, but they have a bad habit of pushing people through and trying to push them, but not giving them the full push.
Yeah, the full push.
Yeah. So I don't know if, Drew McIntyre's going to come back from injury and he's going to be pushed. I don't know if, Aleister Black's going to get a push, and even Adam Cole,
Man, that Aleister Black Adam Cole match was ridiculous.
You finally saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that good?
Yeah. I didn't watch all of War Games either, but I did watch a lot of the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
The War Games pay-per-view, the War Games match itself.
The War Games match.
Okay. Yeah. It was a good match, but when I tried to describe the move and I couldn't really do it, you finally saw it, where everyone kind of tumbled out of the corner, but Adam Cole is just sitting there. That was my favorite part of the whole match. But it was a good match, and there's guys on NXT, I mean, they're all great, but I don't see there being enough room for the talent down there unless a lot of the people in WWE shift out or somewhere else, this coming year.
I mean, who knows who's going to shift out? Because after WrestleMania, they usually clean house.
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably do a shuffle, and they'll probably bring people, and that's when they normally bring people up from NXT, and that's normally when people kind of get released and shit like that.
But who's got to be on the release list? They already got rid of Darren Young. They got rid of the female.
Emma. Summer Rae. Emma.
And Summer Rae.
Yeah, there's another one too. I can't remember. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we know Big Show, I think he's coming to the end of his career this year. Kane, I know he's going into his mayor election this year, so he'll probably be done. I think really at that point, I think the longest, if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, there's probably someone else. But I think the most veteran guy there at that point who's a full-time would probably be Randy Orton. But I feel like I'm missing somebody somewhere.
I don't think so. I think it's Randy Orton and
Randy. Yeah, because right now it's Kane, Big Show,
right, and
then Randy Orton. Because John Cena, I don't consider part of that list anymore at the moment because he's part-time. Yeah. But I'm hoping Brock Lesnar's gone after this year, and it's not a travesty hates Brock Lesnar. It's time for other people who are full-time to get that spotlight.
Right. Oh, definitely. I mean, we've talked about this several times. We like Brock.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not going to be there every week, we don't want to see you.
Exactly. And it sucks for us to sit there and watch, the Raw's top title never be there.
Right.
Or there 3 times out of the year. And I get that, there are people who say, like, oh, well, the reason they do that is because they make it more prestigious because it's not defended every time. Yeah, but it still needs to fucking be there.
I liked when they defended it at least once a month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It makes sense.
At a pay-per-view, yeah. Even on Raw itself, it needs to be defended. And whatever happened to that policy where, a champion has to defend their title every 30 days?
Right. That only applied to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I mean, I had to. I mean, that fucking dude put it like every fucking week.
Yeah.
It's a joke how they just sit there and like, oh, Brock Lesnar's the champion. It's like, yeah, but he's not really doing much with it. And you're not making it prestigious by only allowing to be, defended, every 3 months.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think having it defended less makes it more prestigious because let's take the U.S. title, for instance. When Cena was doing the weekly challenge.
Yeah,
that put the title back on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we talked about it. He even had some of the best matches of his career during those times. With the young upcomers, Sami Zayn,
Cesaro,
Ty Dillinger, Cesaro. But they just don't do nothing with these guys.
No. I'm trying to figure out, when was the last time Brock Lesnar defended that title?
It had to be at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because Survivor Series he faced AJ, and it wasn't
right, that was his champion versus champion.
And then, so who in the SummerSlam, was that wasn't that Fatal 5-Way, was it?
I think so.
So, we're looking at, what was it, August, September?
Yeah.
So almost 4 months since he last defended that title. That's not prestigious to me. That's
like somebody dodging.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well just go to the fucking Undertaker and have him win at WrestleMania. But I'll see you next year, maybe.
comes back every WrestleMania. Who's taking my title? Yeah. Who wants the title?
Oh, God. Anyways, all right. So, let's look at these rumors. I got a set of rumors. You got a set of rumors. Why don't you go first?
All right. Well, first one is what I think we kind of touched on: Daniel Bryan versus Shane at SummerSlam.
I think SummerSlam's too far out. I can see the match happening, but SummerSlam would be
August.
Would that be before or would that be after his contract being up?
Right before.
SummerSlam would be before the contract's up.
His contract is up in September.
That would probably be a great storyline to do, like if he was like, win or fired match kind of thing. But I don't see them dragging this storyline out for 8 more months.
I'm thinking like a WrestleMania, maybe.
Yeah, WrestleMania is closer. WrestleMania is a big, platform to bring Daniel Bryan back to his first match in over 2 years, 3 years, whatever the fuck it was. But no, the SummerSlam angle would be awesome if they started this Kevin Owens, if they did that 2-referee match with Daniel and Shane, like the following like May pay-per-view after WrestleMania or something like that, and gave him like 3 or 4 months there. But to drag this storyline out for 8 more months, I don't think that people will keep the attention to.
Yeah, I mean, already I want to know what's gonna happen with the storyline, because originally I thought it would be Shane versus Kurt again, after Survivor Series. You know what I mean? But another one is the Royal Rumble Triple Threat, which is happening.
That's definitely that's
Braun Brock versus Kane.
Yeah, I know. I saw an article that said that Braun Strowman had to go to the hospital because of illness or something like that, but I don't think that that's going to affect it in any way.
Earl Hebner wants to come back.
I can see that being a possibility if they could look past what he did to cause him to get fired in the first place.
Yeah, I read that. That's kind of unofficially licensed gear, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was selling used like wrestling mats and shit like that. I mean, it wasn't like he was selling like, you know, like the Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 3, wrestling mat from the wrestling ring that they actually wrestled in. I think it was just selling like house show wrestling mats, and I get that. But if they're going to dispose of them, just wait till they get checked in the garbage and just grab them then. But I get why WWE did it, because, you know, you don't want people to make money off of your brand unless you're making money off it too. But I think that'd be something simple enough for them to kind of look past, to bring back a senior referee if he still has the ability to be that referee, because he is getting pretty old.
Now, not to veer off course of the rumor mills that we're doing, you've watched SmackDown the past couple weeks?
Yep.
Tell me Rusev isn't... What the heck happened there? All of a sudden, the whole crowd is behind Rusev?
Rusev Day, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked Rusev since the beginning.
Rusev Day, man.
And then Rusev Day comes along, and everybody's just... Well, there is a little rumor here about Ryback and Rusev going back and forth on the twit.
That's a rumor? Or that's just...
No, that happened.
Oh.
So
yeah, they were, because, fuck, I read them. I think Rusev put something up about him, doing, like, lifts or something like that. And either Ryback responded saying, you know, that's not a lot of weight. Or, like, Rusev put something on there, like, this is what, juice free, what or something.
It says Ryback left a comment ripping Rusev for too light of weight, and then added "fuck Rusev Day," and then Rusev writes back, "all natural workouts here."
Yeah, well, yeah, and one of the biggest things, I mean, like people, you know, accuse Ryback of using steroids.
I mean, I could see where.
I can see why they do
I can see why.
You know, I mean, a lot of people who get built like that, they think there's some kind of enhancement in it.
Right.
And we don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
We don't know if he got that way because, you know, he actually, you know, busted his ass and created that build for himself. You know, it's like, we don't know. So it's not for us to really say. But the thing is, like, you know, if you're willing to say something about somebody, you need to, you know, be a man enough to be like, okay, well, you know, he dished it back. It is what it is. Yeah.
So apparently Mark Cuban is trying to back New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I heard that too.
That's interesting. I guess I should have read this stuff before I started.
It's more fun this way. I mean, I did my research, but yeah, you do. Come on, Robin.
I guess McMahon referred to New Japan as little shit. I don't think he needs to write New Japan Pro Wrestling off like that.
No.
It doesn't matter the language barrier or not. I would still go watch him.
I think I see it more as a for publicity or for marketing standpoints. Him saying, "Oh, fuck New Japan," but I think deep down they have a communication.
I think there's always been some kind of understanding between the WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling because like we've mentioned before, so many stars have crossed. Like the Tajiris and every fucking time.
Yeah. I hate how that shit happens.
So the rumor was the Cyborg from the UFC was coming to WWE. Ronda Rousey's pretty much.
They want. Yeah. Cyborg wants Rousey at WrestleMania.
Yeah, something like that.
No.
I don't think that's gonna happen. So the next one we got here is Balor not facing Lesnar due to not being over.
That's a crock.
How is Balor not over?
Balor's probably one of the most over guys on Raw currently.
Man, I mean,
it makes no fucking sense. I mean, every time he goes out there, there's always like a pop from the crowd and a constant cheer, and I mean, especially like there's a huge pop for Balor, Gallows, and Anderson tagging together.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I think they need to bring that back. Bring in the Balor Club.
I wouldn't call it the Balor Club. That's dumb. Call it something else. Just call it the Club.
The Club.
Just call it the Club. Or talk to New Japan and buy the rights to Bullet Club.
Yeah, they won't be able to do that.
I wonder how much New Japan would want. Like a realistic number. Like, what would I have to offer you for that trademark?
It'd probably be in the millions.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put that on my list of petty purchases when I win the lottery.
Mom, this is what I want for Christmas.
Own 49% of Bullet Club. But no, that's a crock. I mean, I think he's even more over than Brock. There's no reason he shouldn't.
Shit, he's probably more over, the most over person without having a championship. A real championship run under his belt. Yeah.
And it's ridiculous how he hasn't had a run with a title since, NXT. Right. I mean, he's the Universal Champion, but that was for one day and he couldn't do anything with it because of his injury. He should have had some title. Hit that U.S. title once or the IC title. Throw him with somebody and do a tag team. Whatever, but you need to do something with him.
It's just like... You sign one of the best independent guys. Mm-hmm. Even before you had AJ Styles, you had Balor. Yep. NXT, he runs roughshod. Comes to Raw, wins the Universal title, gets injured instantly. You're gonna Dolph Ziggler his ass. Yeah. Yeah. This is the same guy who dislocated his shoulder in match and put it back in the socket. And finish the match.
Yep. It's almost like I can see now why there are interviews where wrestlers discuss how great WWE is, and then there are interviews that discuss how bad WWE is. Because I think when WWE finds a guy that they like, they stick with that guy, and everyone else is kind of just like an afterthought.
I'm gonna skip this one because it's not very interesting.
What was it?
The real reason behind the mixed tag team challenge.
Oh, what was that? What was that real reason?
To increase their Facebook presence.
Is that only being seen on like Facebook Live or some shit like that?
Is it really?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to remember exactly what was so special about it.
I don't know, but you got Braun Strowman tagging with Alexa Bliss.
Fucking Alexa's fucked that matchup for him.
Right.
They're not going, especially with him going into the Royal Rumble, they're not going to make him weak by getting pinned by somebody.
See, these aren't really rumors.
What is that one?
This one is who catches heat with wrestling fans and a wrestler.
Oh, no, fuck that.
And that's the Hurricane and the porno girl.
There's a porno girl?
Yeah, Mia Khalifi or something like that.
What'd she do?
What doesn't she do?
Well, I mean, like, what does she have to do with WWE?
I have no idea. Oh. I know she's in porn, so she has nothing to do with WWE.
Well, in discussion about Ronda Rousey's future, Mia has some choice words for both Ronda and WWE. Her quote, This is where her career will go to die. I have no respect for the WWE. It's not a real sport. It is embarrassing. Oh, okay.
This coming from someone who takes dick for a living.
All right. Yeah, we'll just go to the next one.
Oh, there's our buddy.
Talk about Neville being sidelined for a year. Join SmackDown Live? I hope so.
See, I would love for Neville to come to SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
I think, and again, I think SmackDown Live is still kind of not pushing the right people. We talked about that earlier with throwing Nakamura in with Orton.
Yep.
And
yeah. See, I still see that as like not having anything for him and trying to make him relevant.
Right.
But it goes back to like how you just have too many guys who are capable of going for a title. You know, and like even right now, like, do we even know if the WWE title is going to be defended at the Royal Rumble? We just know about the Universal.
No, it's going to be defended. It's I don't know how it works, but it's going to be AJ versus Kevin and Sammy in a handicap title match.
Who made that? Daniel Bryan? Was that on SmackDown this past week?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't see SmackDown this past week. I'll double check.
I mean, I don't understand how that works. Because if it's a handicap match, it's a team versus a person.
Maybe it'll be like a like the Freebirds rule. They can both defend the title.
Oh, Jesus.
Why not? That he's doing everything now. Fucking XFL might come back. So I mean,
yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, who knows? Maybe Neville will go over to SmackDown and they'll bring back the light heavyweight championship.
Vince was excited for 205 Live.
I'm sure he was excited for it.
And then not so excited.
Yep, he was excited for XFL coming back. But yeah, I mean, I saw that he's starting up this media company. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, because he took a bunch of money out.
Yeah, but apparently from what it is, it's going to be completely separated from WWE. Like, it has nothing to do with WWE whatsoever.
So what's he trying? I mean, he's already got the...
Just wants to do another business. Do like an entertainment business. From what I know, I didn't look much into it. I heard it on a couple other podcasts, because I do listen to other wrestling podcasts and shit, to kind of just like, see how they do things. Like Edge and Christian. Good podcast.
I feel like that'd be a good podcast.
It's very goofy, but when you get past the goofiness and get to the interviews that they do, it's actually pretty cool.
Nice. We've talked about this one before. Triple H and Strowman at WrestleMania, and nobody wants to see that.
No, and I hope to God they don't do that. What's your last one here? Reacted positively to Jericho joining Japan.
Of course he did.
It's money.
Jericho, no matter what, is going to be brought back to WWE, WCW. That's how he's always going to be intertwined.
Oh, yeah.
So if someone sees him for the first time somewhere else, they're going to look him up and they're going to go watch everything that the WWE has on Chris Jericho. Mm-hmm. Which they should.
I don't think there's anywhere that doesn't know about WWE yet.
They may not know about Chris Jericho, though.
I think everyone knows about Chris Jericho. Lead singer of Fozzy. Come on.
All right, what do you got?
All right, so Royal Rumble's coming up on the 28th.
Yes, sir.
We got the first ever women's Royal Rumble match, and it's been confirmed on Raw by Kurt Angle that the same rules apply. So we are getting 30 women
over the top
rope, and then every I think it's 2 minutes or whatever the hell it is, a new woman enters. So we do know at least 30 women are going to be in this Royal Rumble.
Right.
So what we got here is we have a list of 10 rumored returns with 5 possible debuts. Not really much to discuss. Kind of like, yeah, I can see that, or no, I don't see that. Eva Marie returning. Do you see it or not?
Eva Marie, she was the redhead, right?
Yeah.
No.
All red, everything.
No.
No. Yeah, neither do I.
Not as a wrestler.
I hope not at all.
I think she could probably be a valet, but she could not be a wrestler.
Yeah. For some reason, this picture of her does not look like her.
That looks like that porn chick we were just talking about.
Maybe it is. I don't know. If she does come back, I don't know what use to use for her. Like being a manager, not being a man. I don't know. She's out for me. This next one is like one of my favorites, and that's Caitlyn.
I don't think I remember Caitlyn.
Caitlyn was she was kind of like the bodybuilder, blonde hair, who had like kind of like that feud with AJ. AJ and Big E made fun of her a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but obviously when you look at the pictures, she's a little bit different now. Not so much blonde hair.
Yeah.
And she's more toned than she is like bulked up. But I always liked her, and I'm not sure exactly what it was about her that I liked. But she was one of those like kind of powerhouses. She was a bodybuilder and everything. Kind of like Dana Brooks, but talent. So, So I hope that if she does come back, she comes back not only for the Royal Rumble, but comes back to be on like TV.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. The Iconic Duo. This is our first debut for the Royal Rumble, and these are the NXT girls.
Yep.
Can't remember their names now, and
I don't remember their names either, but they are pretty. They're pretty good. I've watched them in a couple matches, and Peyton Royce is one.
Yeah, it's the one who stands out, especially since she's the only one that's named. And that's a goofy thing too. If you're gonna sit here and talk about a group, how do you not name them in the paragraph? That's what I don't get. It's like sit there like, oh no, they're not known by this and this. They're known by this. It's like, right. Come on. But yeah, Peyton Royce, which, no offense to the other one, is the more well-known.
Right.
So, it'd be cool to see. Peyton, I think, is ready to come up. I'm not too sure about the other one. Melina coming back, which, from hearing rumor that, she burned her bridges with WWE because of her backstage shenanigans and stuff, this is kind of surprising to me. I haven't seen her. I haven't really seen much of her or looked into her so much since she made her one and done appearance at Lucha Underground.
Yeah, that was the last time I seen her too.
Yeah, and she looked in good shape. She looked good. It's just
this looks like a terrible picture.
This looks like a horrible picture, and I don't know what that title belt is, but I think it's made out of, I'm assuming, hard rubber and stencil. The top of the belt's curling up for God's sakes. But if she came back, I think that'd be one and done, but I think that'd be kind of cool to see. Especially like getting an entrance. Michelle McCool is probably the one that is the best possibility, but more talked about because of her little Twitter feud with Charlotte after Charlotte called her out.
I don't even know anything about that.
Yeah, I think
I'm not a tweeter.
Yeah, I know, obviously I think they did just as a goof to kind of mess with each other. But I know Charlotte mentioned Michelle. Or Michelle mentioned about she would love to get back and get in the ring and everything. And Charlotte kind of said, don't worry about doing that or some shit. But I know Michelle has went on record saying that she would love to come back. I don't know in what capacity. If it's going to be, give me a full-time contract or I'll wrestle here and there from time to time. But I never really had a problem with
I'm going to come back for WrestleMania and WrestleMania alone.
Right? She's going to be the next undefeated streak. I'd never had really a problem with her in-ring ability. I didn't like her tag team with, who's the girl?
Layla.
Yeah, I almost said Lana, but that's obviously not
cool or something like
that.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. I think it was the whole bullying gimmick that kind of steered me away from it because it wasn't like a kind of bullying that made you angry. It was just too cringe to watch. So okay, this is kind of it's kind of like that Alexa, this is your life thing. It was just you kind of kind of looked at it. Debut of Nikki Cross, which I think Nikki is one of the few who is ready to come up from NXT.
You think she's going to come out without insanity?
I don't.
Sanity?
I see them coming up, but I don't see them coming up together. I think if Sandy comes up, I think they'll come up without Nikki Cross, because I don't see WWE being big on stables, like mixed stables. I think as much as they see women as WWE superstars now, I think they want to keep them separated as women's superstars and men's superstars. Like, they're all equals, but they're equal in separate, like, areas. Except, I mean, I get this whole mixed tag thing. Yeah. It's kind of like, well, this kind of disproves your theory. But that's like a gimmick thing that they're doing. I just think, like, I don't see them, like, really sticking together. It's kind of like with Blake and Murphy and Alexa Bliss. Like, they were together down in NXT, but when they came up, like, Blake and Murphy was still here, but Alexa Bliss came up to her own separate thing. So I don't think they'll all come up together. I think they'll all come up together, but not together as a group. I think it'd be best if Cross went to SmackDown, since they're lighter on the not Divas, women champions or women wrestlers on that side, and then putting Sanity in Raw because they're kind of weaker on the tag team side.
You think Raw's weaker on the tag team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, I mean, look at SmackDown. You got the Usos. You got the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
You have...
the Bludgeon Brothers.
The Bludgeon Brothers. You have Rusev and that one guy, I can't remember his name. Aiden English. So you got that. Yeah, actually...
I think I'm actually coming around to Aiden English. Beyond the scene bullshit.
Rusev Day, man. Come on. It's fucking Rusev Day. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. And then when you look at Raw, you have Sheamus and Cesaro. And then you have fucking the tag team champions, Seth Rollins and Kurt Jr. And you got the Revival, but...
They just came back.
Yeah. Rhino and Heath Slater.
That's a joke.
I mean, I think Gallows and Anderson would be better on SmackDown. Now that I think about it, I think they may kind of flourish better over there in the tag team division. There's just not a lot in Raw. There's no pure teams. It's everyone thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you got Gallows and Anderson, who was a tag team. That's fine.
But that's the only one. Revival.
That's fine. Those two are the only ones that are kind of like through. Everyone else is kind of like, hey, let's throw it together and see if it works. But no, I think Nikki Cross would be great for, I guess, either show. Tori Wilson. I don't know if you've seen pictures of Tori Wilson lately, but my God, is she hot?
I mean, she's always been hot.
Yeah. Now she's like more like, I don't know if she's more hot or less hot now. You'd have to look. Gio, look into that. Let me know if you feel she's more hot or less hot. But, no, I mean, I think after she left, I know she stayed within fitness. So I don't know if she became like a fitness instructor, a fitness model, or a nutritionist. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing her come back. I wouldn't mind seeing her come back because of how hot she is. But I think if it came down to... the Royal Rumble, I mean, they have 30 women, yes, but that kind of constricts you on the possibility of who you can bring in and who you can't.
Right.
You can't bring in everybody.
No.
And the way we know it now, there is at least 10 to 11 girls from the main roster who could at least make the Royal Rumble.
Right.
That means it gives you 21 or 19 free spots. So when you look at the NXT girls, which we kind of saw a few of them now, and there's a couple more on this list, it kind of limits you on who you can bring back. And as we see on some of these and everything, like one person I would love to see is Gail Kim.
See, that would completely shock me because they completely dropped the ball with her the last time she was there.
Yeah, but I think she's getting towards the end of her career where I think maybe she could look past that to be part of history. Like, I don't see her come back like full time with the WWE. But I could definitely see them like, hey, listen, I know we had our problems in the past because of this and booking and all this stuff, and we didn't agree with it. But do you want to be part of the first ever women's Royal Rumble match, just a 1-day contract, one and done. You get paid and you go. I can see that being a good thing for her.
I mean, I know she did retire from Impact Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they did put her in their Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Rosemary.
Wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I haven't really looked into her since the whole Sexy Star thing, but is she back yet?
I haven't seen her on Impact, but I also deleted a lot of my Impact before watching it.
Gotcha.
New Year's, so I started off with a new...
Yeah. Rosemary, I would love to see. I think I like her character. I like the cynical characters and shit. And speaking of which, now, Crazy Steve, what happened to him?
I don't know. I haven't heard higher hair about him.
Huh.
Now I'm gonna have
so
to look him
weird.
up.
Yeah, we'll have to find that now. We'll talk about that next week. Victoria returning.
Mm-hmm. She was always good, but she's gotta be pretty freaking old.
Yeah, she's gotta be close to not.
I will give her this though. I've met her. Super cool.
Is she?
Super cool.
When did you meet her?
I met her at Comic-Con.
Is that pre JFW or post JFW?
That was pre JFW.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you didn't throw
throw
down no card.
I would have been like no.
Like this kept
here's
so
a card.
It was great meeting you. Oh, bam! There you go. But I don't know. I think she would be very important for the Royal Rumble. She was an impact in wrestling. I can see her being a future WWE Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely see her as being like one who's at least offered it, and it'll be up to her if she wants to be part of it or not. The Bellas, that's pretty obvious to me.
Yeah, I've heard this all over the place.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna happen. No matter what, that's gonna happen. Ember Moon.
I don't see her coming up just yet.
I see her coming up for the Royal Rumble, but not being moved up, but being part of the Royal Rumble. It's not so much like what she established in WWE yet, because she did establish a lot. She's a great competitor. She's the NXT Women's Champion. But I think to put her wrestling ability into that ring with other wrestlers, I think they'll do that. And I think a lot of these WWE women's wrestlers that are going to come up from NXT to do the Royal Rumble, I don't think there's so much going to be that's their promotion moment. Because who was it that was in it last year? The Perfect 10. He was in the Royal Rumble last year. He was the only NXT wrestler, Ty Dillinger.
Yeah.
And the only NXT wrestler in the Royal Rumble last year. He didn't come up until the summer after, but he still was in there. And I think they kind of use that as a test run for what kind of pop they get. But I can see her being in it, but I don't see it being her push yet. Because
I want to see if she's in it. I want to see what kind of pop she gets because she's phenomenal.
Yeah, I like her. Lita.
I could see that happening. She's still in really good graces with WWE.
Yeah, she does some of the pre-shows from the pay-per-views and stuff like that.
Didn't she announce for the whole Mae Young tournament?
I think she was a commentator for that.
Commentator, that's right.
Who else did that with her?
I don't know.
Was it Daniel Bryan? No. I don't know. But yeah, I can see Aaliyah doing it. She's still part of WWE and stuff like that. Trish Stratus was another one that was being talked about. She was actually one being discussed to come back as a full-time wrestler, kind of like Mickie James.
Yeah.
So I can see her doing it too. And our last one, which I believe is a debut, is Ronda Rousey.
I don't know how I should feel about Ronda Rousey coming in.
No. The answer is no.
The answer is no.
If she wants to pursue WWE, that's fine. Start in NXT, but not in the WWE Royal Rumble. I do not think that she deserves to take a spot in the WWE Women's Royal Rumble, the first ever one, from somebody else who was a legend, a Hall of Famer, an NXT.
Oh yeah, okay, I can agree with that.
Yeah. If they come down to it and they have 29 people and nobody else wants to be part of it or no one else has the ability to be part of it, then fine, give it to Ronda Rousey. But for the love of God, do not give it to her over somebody else. You know, I'd rather see, you know, fucking... And that was one that wasn't on this list that I thought was weird, was Awesome Kong. Or Karma.
Yeah.
You know? But they better offer her, a position in the Royal Rumble before Ronda Rousey.
I mean, there's tons of... yeah, if she starts off around the main roster, that's just gonna be a slap in the face the rest of the...
It'll be insulting as fuck, yeah. Because, she needs to be trained for WWE.
Right.
You know, she's not a Kurt Angle. You know, she's not a Brock Lesnar. But even Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, they started in those small, like, FCW or OVW or whatever the fuck it was. You know, put her in NXT. You know, she could be the one who, wins the title from Ember Moon for all I care. You know, if they're waiting for Ember Moon to drop the title to someone who could carry the title before she comes up, fine. Put Rousey down there, let her train for 9 months, whatever. That's how she does in the ring, and then throw her in that feud.
You can't just build a character based upon a reputation she's already had. You know what I mean? She doesn't have any wrestling in-ring experience other than hip tossing. Yeah,
but see, and I have to go back to that guy. What the fuck is like? Oh, yeah. Matt Riddle was the guy I was trying to think of earlier.
Okay.
Probably he is one of the most wanted to be seen guys in WWE. He's up there with, Kenny Omega and I can't remember the Samoan tag team is on the Indies right now.
That's not the War Machine, is it?
No, the War Machines want to be in there too.
Yeah.
But there was a Wrestling Gorilla there. I think there's a tag team. I think it's part of that whole like Rock Samoan family group. I can't remember their name for the life of me. Gio, if you remember, let me know. But yeah, so Matt Riddle is one of those guys that WWE should take a chance with. But yeah, those are the predicted or rumored returns and debuts.
For the women's?
Yeah, for the women's Royal Rumble match. And in a couple weeks here, when we get closer, we'll start talking about the actual participants and people who are going into it. Why don't we dive into your match of the week?
Well, the match of the week after this week, I thought was going to be Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. Yeah. But I happened to be working as a CSR the other night and watching WWE Network, and I came across Pete Dunne versus Tyler Patch for the UK Championship. The WWE UK Championship, not the NXT, that's how it's labeled. It's not NXT. Remember how we were questioning why it was on that?
Yeah.
The different bar? It's the WWE, not the NXT.
See, that's dumb.
Yeah, so why are they on NXT?
Exactly, and that's why it's dumb. It's not dumb because of the way they named it, but it's dumb is if it's a WWE title, why is it only being shown on NXT?
Right. This match is... I've gone back and I've told you I don't know how many times about Pete Dunne and how much I like Pete Dunne. Mm-hmm. But the match is 23 minutes long. You're not going to realize it's 23 minutes long.
Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate. Now, I know they've had...
Tyler Bate, sorry.
So I know they had a couple matches. I think this one... So this is one from December?
This is one from recent. So Tyler Bate is only 20 years old.
He was he was the inaugural.
Yeah,
the winner of the
19.
tournament. Okay.
And I think Dunne took it away from him. I'm not too sure, so I'm not going to comment on that.
No, I get what you're saying. But no, I think you're right. I think Bates won and Pete Dunne won it from him.
Right.
I think this is the second match they had, and I remember a lot of people talking about how great this match was. I heard the first one was just as good. I haven't seen either of them yet. I don't watch a lot of Wednesday night NXT as much as I should. I see the highlights on YouTube when they do that stuff. But I heard how great these matches were, and these were matches I wanted to go back and watch. So this is from the December 20th NXT.
I believe it's episode 426. Not Netflix.
Yeah, it could be on Netflix. If it was, then he's doing something right.
Yeah, right. But oh man, the brutality from these English guys is just ridiculous. And Dunne, every time I see Dunne, I just think of William Regal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I William Regal was so, like...
The most underrated brawler ever.
And he was kind of goofy, like, with his, like, proper, like, you know, Englishman kind of, like, gimmick. But when the bell rang and everything, he turned into, like, that back alley fucking brawler that, you know, you'll see in those old, you know, English movies where people are, like, surrounded by, like, a circle of guys, you know, cheering on and throwing money into, you know, the circle as, you know, two dudes just beating the shit out of each other until one can't get up.
Right. I mean, and even if you watch Pete Dunne, you can tell that he is probably heavily influenced because he does the little arm behind the back thing when he just stands around by William Regal. Yeah. These guys are obviously not in the super heavyweight or the heavyweight category. I believe Dunn's only 199 pounds. Or
these guys will end up on 205 Live if they get moved up.
Which sucks because I think they're...
Actually, I wouldn't mind it. To see these guys going to 205 Live, team up with Gallagher, and make like a British Invasion stable, I think they can make it work. You know I'm right. Or you're just not part of the show anymore here. I mean,
I don't want to see all these guys on 205 Live. They need to be...
They can still be on Raw, but I mean, give them the platform to be a mainstay on 205 Live. There's not enough room on Raw and SmackDown for everybody.
I guess so, but I just see as like 205 Live as the shelf.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Unfortunately, that's exactly what it is. But it's either you give them a fucking network show, or they don't have a show at all because there's not enough room for. How many of those guys do you think would actually have matches on Raw if they were main Raw guys? Every single match they do would be a fatal 4-way or a triple threat every single week, just to get enough, you know, airtime for them.
I mean, I guess that's true. That's where when the X Division ran into problems like that, to where they had to do nothing but fatal 4-ways and triple threats and
and as soon it just boiled down to where there really is no X Division anymore.
Right.
You know, it's just there's no separate divisions, but you know what they need to do is they need to get more aggressive and more personalities out of 205 Live to make it more watchable.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they got these characters and everything, but there's nothing exciting going on 205 Live. There's no great storylines going on 205 Live like there is on SmackDown or Raw. I mean, the only exciting storylines I've seen on 205 Live is somebody, two guys were fighting over Alicia Fox, or Enzo Amore was creating the Zoe train. It's like they don't have they need the Asian or the British Invasion kind of gimmick. I think that'd be great. And they just run through everyone with their powerhouse cruiserweight capabilities. Just run through, create chaos, on it. And if that don't work, then fucking move them over to the fucking up and coming brand new ECW show. They need to bring back ECW.
They do, but they need to bring it back as close to the original ECW as possible.
Yeah. No, I agree. Absolutely. Did you find out which NXT episode that was? 426.
It doesn't say here.
It's okay. I think it's 426. Yeah.
Yeah, 426.
Yep. So that'll be posted up on the when it'll
be posted up on Monday.
Monday. Awesome.
Yeah, I love this scheduling my post thing.
Isn't it nice?
It's so nice.
It's so convenient. So, but yeah, we do schedule our posts on our Facebook, which you can find anything that we post about on there just by searching the JFW podcast. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram, which we kind of got away from, but we're going to try to get back more to that into the 2018. Hopefully we get into more indie shows, because I haven't been to one since September.
I haven't been to one since October.
Yeah. The last one I went to was Powerhouse, and I think the last one you went to was SCW. So we gotta get in touch with them, see how they're doing. But yeah, we're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching the JFW Podcast or Just Freaking Wrestling, either or. And if you guys have friends out there who are fans of wrestling and want to hear us bullshit about wrestling, let them know that they could find us on Google Play, Podbean, and iTunes.
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy. You hit the play music button, search podcast. I did it, and I subscribed to us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so simple. A Dizzle J could do it.
Right.
So simple.
So simple.
Shit, you got anything else?
I think it's time to ring the bell on this episode.
Perfect. Okay, as always, I am Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
And thank you for listening to another episode of Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW Podcast.
Peace.